What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Five Levels of Dumb, the social media reaction channel, the one of the best out there. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. But guys, today we have another banger for you. So many dumb things happening in the world. But before we get into that, great news: Five Levels of Dumb will be going live 2 times a week, Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That the time could change, but it will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So stay tuned for the Five Rules of Dumb, 5 dumb things happening in the world. Also, we will be clipping up this video. If you just want to see one topic, you don't want to watch the whole potentially hour-long episode, you can go to the clips. And it will be on this channel, so be looking out for that. Also, shout out to Bacon for catching my typo. That happens a lot here, apparently. I always get called out. Usually it's by Titus, but thank you, Bacon. Shout out to you. Love you, man. I meant that. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into this video. Before we actually press play on it, guys, you can see the title there, what we're going to be looking at. But so many times the American people have asked the question, what is the government actually spending our taxpayer dollars on? And we saw with Ukraine, billions and billions of dollars that were going there. And we're just like, what in the world, bro? Like, why is $100+ billion of our taxpayer money going to a foreign country when there's so many problems here in the US? It just begged questions. And you saw there was a potential leak that we started the war. Hey, I'm not saying it, but anyways, yo, another typo. It's levels. I put levels. Thanks. Shout out to you. We will be correcting that after the video. That's absolutely insane. But thank you, Wes Smith. Crazy, guys. I was rushing. But anyways, we've been wondering this question. What have we been spending our taxpayer dollars on? And I found a video. This video right here, a senator from Oklahoma is talking about the insane stuff we've been spending taxpayer dollars on. It's absolutely insane, guys. You need to take a look at this video. Here it goes.
Is this really how we want to be able to spend Americans' taxpayer dollars? We've set up a top 10 list that we listed out of some of the things that we just say, okay, of the 50 different examples, and we don't try to go into every single spending area, but we lay out in the guide for federal fumbles 50 different examples and just try to ask the question, is this the best way to be able to spend America's dollars? And again, we've all got different perspectives and different ideas on it. I'm just asking a question. For instance, last year, the State Department did a grant to Ecuador to host 12 drag shows in Ecuador with American tax dollars. Now, may have different opinions in this room on drag shows.
Y'all heard that, right? Like the U.S. taxpayer dollars are going to funding drag shows in Ecuador. What possible reason could you be spending U.S. money on that when there are literal veterans struggling, not able to find a home on the street? They're homeless. They don't know what to do. And we're spending money on drag shows in Ecuador because, oh, you know what's a better idea than helping the poor and needy in America and securing our border? Making Ecuador gay. Shows where the priorities of the U.S. government is right now, where the powers that are in charge are at right now. Absolutely insane, but let's continue, guys. This gets worse as he goes on.
I'm just asking the simple question. Is the best use of American tax dollars to actually fund drag shows in Ecuador with U.S. tax dollars? I don't believe that it is.
Nope.
Last year, we actually did a different funding through the State Department that was actually done. Actually, this was the National Science Foundation. Excuse me, strike that. It seems like a State Department thing. National Science Foundation last year did a study of butterflies in Europe. So we funded with American taxpayer dollars a butterfly study in Germany where we paid a Swedish scientist to study butterflies in Germany.
I don't know if they know something I don't, but one, why are we spending taxpayer dollars? Like, this is our money. This is what gets me mad. Our money is being spent on the studying of butterflies. Now, if there was some kind of like cure in butterflies that cures something like cancer through the study of them, extracting something, that's one thing. All we know is that we're studying butterflies, but not butterflies in the US, because God forbid we do something like that. But we are spending our money on research, researching French butterflies. Can you make it make sense, y'all? I'm just saying, this is absolutely insane. This is where our money is going. Crazy.
I'm not real sure why American tax dollars, that was the best use of that, but that was one of the grants that was done last year. Last year, there was also a NEA grant that was done to set up a display in Brooklyn for the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which, by the way, is not even an American band. And I'm not sure why we had to pay federal tax dollars to be able to do that. My simple question is always, why are tax dollars being taken out of Oklahoma to be able to do that? Always popular. We had an almost, $350,000 grant to study smart toilets. Was one of the grants that we actually paid for with our federal tax dollars last year. We also had a grant.
Bro, why? Just why? Like that's crazy. Why do we need to spend our money on studying smart toilets? If you want to study smart toilets as a business, as a company, as an individual, whatever, but why on earth does the government need to study that? Why are we spending our money on that? This is the stuff that doesn't make sense. We're always like, we need to raise the debt ceiling. Oh, we need to spend more money to get out of the deficit we're in. All this crap, when it's like, okay, what are we actually spending our money on? And do we need to spend it on that? Absolutely not. Why do we need to spend money on researching butterflies and smart toilets? Why do we need to spend money on funding drag shows in Ecuador? This doesn't make sense. This is absolutely insane. What is this? This is absolutely insane, guys. Just keep listening.
That was done studying colonial Mexican soundscapes. Now, I'm sure colonial Mexican soundscapes are fascinating, but we paid for a researcher to travel to Mexico and then to be able to write a series about the sounds of colonial Mexico and how they could be used to be able to influence communities. We last year.
Yo, what? That's insane. You know what that actually sounds like when you think deeper into what that actually is? They want to study Mexican culture to and understand it to such a degree that they can influence the Mexican people in America to do what they want them to do, because Mexican Americans, one thing about them, they'll do what they want, right? They're like, I'm an American, I'm here, especially the legal ones. Like, I'm here, I made it here, whatever, you're first generation, second, third generation, you're hardworking, it's instilled in you, you're a critical thinker, you're gonna do what you want. That's part of their culture, right? So what is the government spending money on? They're spending money on, oh, how can we indoctrinate this group of people that we can't seem to control in America? Crazy. They hated Latinos for Trump. They hated that. That's showing what this is about. Insanity.
Did a study on helmets and seatbelts in Ghana to be able to study whether seatbelts and helmets were effective for saving lives in Ghana. Can I just go ahead and answer that question for free? Seatbelts and helmets are a good idea.
Why? It's just
they save lives. Free.
It's always just why, right? And it makes you think like deeper, like, is this we are actually spending money on these things, or is this like a money laundering thing? And they just had to come up with a bunch of crazy ideas to somewhat make it make sense. Like, oh, you know what? We want people in Ghana to be safe, but why are we spending US dollars on it? Right? Why are we spending our money on this? Guys, this is crazy.
I can go ahead and give you that advice. How do I know that?
On something like seatbelts and helmets, like, bro, we know it's safe. There's been plenty of studies. Why is it different in Ghana? You know, like, why do we need to spend our money to see if it's safer? If it's safe for the people in Ghana to use it, because we know it's safe here. Like, you're gonna get a ticket if you're not wearing those things. But hey, in Ghana it might be different. Maybe they're safe without it. Crazy. Almost $300,000 spent on studying whether it's safe to wear seatbelts and helmets in Ghana. This is, guys, what in the world? Goodness.
Because we've already spent millions of dollars in other studies here in the United States.
Right.
But instead, we spent money in Ghana studying helmets to see if they're actually a good idea there. And amazingly, they discovered, yes, they are.
Right.
There was also a grant that was done last year. I've got to just walk this one through. This was at the Springfield Museum of Art in Missouri. There was a grant to be on a display, an installation in the exhibit in the museum called Yoko Ono Mend Piece. Now, let me just read this to you. It's a simple white room where shattered cups and saucers are placed on a table, and participants are asked to mend the fragments together using common household items like twine, glue, scissors, and tape. And the resulting works are displayed on nearby shelves as evidence of the power of collective action. Again, I'm not opposed.
It's just like, bro, why are we spending taxpayer dollars on art club? Like, that's all that is. Why is it? Why do I have to spend my money on that? Like, why can I choose what my money goes to when it comes to taxes? Can I choose like, oh, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want my money going to funding seatbelt safety in Ghana. I don't want my money going to the study of butterflies. Like, can I choose that? Because what is this? And honestly, guys, I don't see the point in watching the entire video because you're just gonna see more and more things. It's just crazy to think this is real life. This is what the US is spending our taxpayer dollars on. What in the world? This is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. When I saw this video, when it came across my feed, I was just like, all right, let's see. It's probably going to be like Ukraine. Like we already know that. It's probably going to be like random other stuff. Maybe more money is going to politicians, something like that. But then I see something like this. And oh yeah, butterflies for sure. Oh yeah, seatbelt safety and whatnot. Stuff we already know about. Guys, this is a crazy world we live in. But that is number 5, guys. We're gonna go ahead and hop into number 4. And we have so many to cover, and we spent 10 minutes on that. It was absolutely crazy. But guys, this right here, this like what she's saying, she's spitting 100% facts, and people probably call her a bully for saying what she's saying, just because this is very controversial in the leftist ideas and whatnot. But this video, this girl is talking about feminists doing OnlyFans, and I'm sure if you know have been on social media for any period of time, you know that there is a lot of feminists saying that sex work should be there should be no stigma behind it. Why can't it be just as oh my goodness, as high a respected job as an office worker, as high a respected job as someone that's built their own business? Why is it different that I built my OnlyFans to the person that created their own company for whatever? Right? That's been happening around TikTok, and this woman just breaks down why that's crazy. Right? I'm just saying that. Just take what she said. You can say what you want, but when I say, they say if you're not a woman, you can't talk about this. Listen to this woman right here. Let's take a look.
You're a feminist doing OnlyFans, that's empowering, yet you're relying on creepy, disgusting men who think you are disgusting and trash to ironically pay your bills, which is probably the most degrading thing in the entire world. Whereas actually, if you
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that it's like, I'm a boss babe, I'm a independent woman, I don't need no man, but it's like you literally depend on creepy, gross guys that are unable to get in relationships to buy your OnlyFans. That's your target base. And I'm sure there's a guy that's just like, oh, she's really hot, I'm gonna just buy it, whatever. But a majority of your base is a creepy guy that can't find a girl, whatever. And that's so crazy to think about. They're relying on that, but screw men. I hate men this, I hate men that. I feel you can't be a feminist and then hate on your base. Isn't it crazy that's the thing though? There are feminists out there who are OnlyFans models. Models is not even, they're just prostitutes. That's really what they are. They're out there saying, I don't need no man this, I don't need no man that. Men suck. And then there's still the disgusting, creepy man that's gonna buy their OnlyFans anyways. That's so crazy. That's honestly a shot at us guys, because there are guys that will still buy it. But she's spitting. She's spitting. Let's keep listening.
if you were in an office, it would be a lot less degrading. You could actually have respect in an office. And do not get offended when you come into the dating pool and dating world and you are seen as a low value woman. In my eyes, you are. In every man's eyes, you are. And don't get offended when people don't want to marry you, don't want you to be their girlfriend. You're going to hit the real world eventually. It's just a matter of time. And no one with any level of like a brain would ever respect someone who does that.
There's a lot to unpack
I
there.
don't go on the internet and expect people not to judge me. You cannot be a sex worker and expect people not to judge you.
I agree with that.
So just don't complain about the outcome. Go get your bag
Yes.
and then deal with no one thinking that you're a valuable human and also bringing just shame to your family name.
Yo, I agree with like almost everything she said there. I will say this: everyone has value, and your value is not determined by what you do, but by God Himself. That's the one difference. Like I think Christians have as a perspective going into stuff like this. But she is not wrong about they want to do whatever they want with zero consequences, without any kind of accountability. They want to do the OnlyFans models. They want to do whatever they want, get their bag, but also get that traditional masculine man that'll wine and dine on them, that'll respect them as a woman. And it's like, well, it's kind of hard to respect you when I think about, when I can literally look up right now all the dudes that have ran through you. It's just like it's hard for a man. Like you can say what you want about stereotypes, you can say what you want about double standards or whatever. But as a guy, most guys don't want a girl that has slept with a bunch of other guys. And that's just like, I don't know if that's like a biological thing. I don't know if there's any stats on that. It's just what I've seen all over the internet and what I've seen talking to guys just in general. They don't want that. It's just you can go deeper into like the soul bonds, the soul ties, or whatever, and it's hard to connect. There's actual statistics proving that anyone that slept with multiple people before getting into a long-term relationship, the likelihood of them cheating skyrockets. There's just so many things that go into this, and it's like she's just spitting. Like you can't, anyone on the internet can be judged for anything they do, right? Anybody. So why is it that because you're a sex worker and you want it to be respectable now, I can't judge you for that, but you can judge me for thinking the way I think? It's crazy. It's interesting. All I'm saying, y'all, absolutely crazy. That was number 4, guys. Number 4, we're gonna hop right in to number 3. Let's take a look at some of these comments before we do that. Wes says, the God of this world is hard at work. The devil's greatest deception is convincing people he never existed. Real talk, real talk. Shout out to Bacon. Love you, man. Bacon says, wasn't sure if they knew that men can't get pregnant. It's 2023, so right. Alice says, it might be worth America paying taxpayer dollars on drag shows in Ecuador if it means gaining a load of trans patients that make America a lot of money in the drug industry. Could be why. Honestly, from a business perspective, that could make sense, which is terrible because you're creating lifelong patients that are going to be constantly in pain and suffering for the rest of their lives. But if you want to make a lot of money and have them come over the border, because I mean, people are coming over the border in droves anyways, they're not being stopped. It is a good business model. That's as disgusting, as immoral as that is. It makes sense. And then there's Titus saying Blackie. Okay. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Get out of here, Titus. If you're gonna be in here, get that nonsense on my face. I don't want to see that. Absolutely crazy. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on to number 3, the third level of dumb. And guys, this is on the same note, talking about transgenderism and whatnot. I think that's right. Transgenderism and whatnot. It's absolutely crazy. These facts are just like why this is the stuff that makes me so mad. The facts that this guy's about to spit should be known to everyone across the world. Anyone that's thinking about becoming transgender on either side, whether you're a guy that thinks you're a girl or a girl that thinks you're a guy, you should know this fact because it probably would dissuade you from doing this, from making this life-altering decision. All I'm saying. Let's take a look at what this guy has to say. He's straight up spitting, guys. Take a look at this.
President of WPATH, which is the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, admitting on camera that literally none of the boys who started on puberty blockers at Tanner stage 2, which is the beginning of puberty when they're maybe 11 years old, none of them as adults have had any sexual function. They've never been able to have an orgasm. So they are turning children, they are destroying their future adult sexual function, they're sterilizing them, they are maiming them. They're destroying their chance of having a family and reducing their future dating pool to essentially zero. Mm-hmm. And we are to call this love and inclusion. We're supposed to be silent about this. No, parents need to speak up. Everyone needs to speak up. And we need the body positive message that our kids are beautiful just as they are. No puberty blockers, hormones, or scalpels needed.
It's just like, why is that a crazy message today in 2023? Why is that crazy? Bro just laid out the statistics. If you are going down this path, and I think it's just specifically for guys, is what he said. If you're going down this path and you think you want to become a girl and you want to start at adolescence, this is why, like, the parents that are a part of this, shout out Titus. Everyone, if you're in this live, like the video. We need to get more people in here to hear this insanity that's happening in this world. And then thank you, Bacon. You should also buy some merch. Shout out to you guys. Like the video, everyone in here. But this is crazy. The parents out there that are saying, I need to get my child because they were 2 years old and they were a boy, but they like the color pink. They were 2 years old and they wanted to wear heels. And they're, they couldn't be curious, but it has to be that they're transgender. The parents out there that are saying, I need to get my child on this young because they're going to regret it in the future when they're not all the way transitioned or their body is still somewhat male-like because they didn't start before puberty. Yeah, you parents are disgusting and evil. This message is to you parents. You are ruining their future sexual lives, which is an important part of every person's life. You're taking that away from them. You're not. They can't perform. They can't. I mean, if you put an axe wound there, anyways, like no, but like if you still plan on keeping your parts, which a lot of guys do, you won't be able to have sex. That's out of the question. If you start before puberty, it's a huge percentage of people that are like that. And parents, you can't think long term. And these leftists, they just can't think long term. Especially the parents. They can't think long term about the potential harm this is causing their child. It's absolutely insane. You're ruining their lives physically by pumping drugs that aren't supposed to be in there. But also now they're not going to be able to have sex. And a lot of that's most people want to have sex. It just is what it is. You're taking that away from them. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, you've met this person? Okay, yeah, he's a beast. Bacon. He said Chris said, or Alice says, I like that guy. And then Chris says, or not Chris. The Bacon says, Chris is awesome. I've met him. Yeah, guys, but this is absolutely insane. That's an insane fact. I didn't know that if you started before puberty, the likelihood of you being able to have a sexually active life is like plummeted. It goes down so much. It's absolutely crazy. But that needs to be out there for all the people thinking about transitioning, all the guys out there that think you're woman. Is it worth it? You know, is it so worth being a woman that you won't be able to be pleased in that way ever in the future? I don't know. I don't think it is. But this information needs to get out to more and more people out there. It's absolutely crazy. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on to number two. Number one. All of this is crazy. Most of this episode is talking about transgender stuff, but this number two made me really. It's crazy watching this video from the other side's perspective. This guy is, I'm assuming, is a Christian, and he's coming at another Christian pastor for talking against transgenderism. He's saying the stuff he's saying is hateful and anti-God in a way, which is crazy. I don't know if he's atheist or not. I'm assuming he's Christian, but maybe not. The transgender debate and Christian and Christian stuff, it's really hard for me to think you're Christian and also transgender because you're literally spitting in the face of God and what he created. But there's so many transgender people out there that want to be Christian because I think they know in their heart God is real, but they also they also want to believe that they are something that they're not. So we're gonna take a look at this video. This video is crazy, y'all. Listen to this.
This is gonna be tough to watch.
Actually, I need to I saw the Bacon posted this. He says Jesus said go and sin no more. Real talk. That's the God that they all want to talk about. They want to talk about the loving God that loves everyone no matter what, which he loves you. He unconditional love is real with him, but he said go and sin no more. And to act as something that you have not been created as. If you were born as a woman, God created you that way. He knitted you in your mother's womb. He knew you before you were born. To be born as a woman and say, no, I'm a guy because I feel like a guy is a spit in the face of God, but it's also sin. You're going against his creation. He said there's man and woman. He created she, them, or he created she, he created them. She, them, crazy. Someone's going to clip that and be like, see, it's out there. But yeah, no, it's sin to live this way. Alice says these doctors keep telling the parents there's a risk of suicide if they don't transition their kids. That sick parents should know better. Crazy that doctors are actually out there saying that. They just obviously it's so crazy because the love of money is so real. Like you hear it in the Bible, the love of money is the root of all evil. But it's so real. These doctors are more concerned about getting their bag, getting their money, than they are about the lives of these children that they're screwing up forever. It's so insane to think of. It's actually crazy. But guys, we're gonna take a look at this video. This is crazy. Listen up.
But you should probably watch it.
Homosexuals have like 3 times as much suicide as heterosexuals, and then you go into transgender and it just continues to go up. It's a very destructive lifestyle.
You have a shorter life expectancy.
They have 20 years less that the homosexual lives than a heterosexual. And, cigarettes take an average of 7 years off of a person's life. So homosexuality is 3 times worse than smoking. We ought to put a label across their forehead. This could be hazardous to your health.
And there's one.
Isn't it crazy that this dude posted this, didn't say anything, and it's just like, yeah, that was really bad. When bro, all he was doing was spitting facts. This is reality. There are tons of trans people, homosexual trans people not living as long. And it's like homosexuality is not natural. You're not supposed to put those parts, the sexual organs in places that they're not supposed to be in. Like it's not natural, it's not normal, you weren't created that way. So with that comes diseases. It's very well known that AIDS was founded with homosexuality, and now it's because of all the letters, the bi and whatnot, people sleeping with gay people and whatnot. It's spread to beyond that, but it was known that's how it was founded. That's how it was started. So gay people sleeping together, lesbian people sleeping together, you're putting parts together that are not supposed to be together, and it is harmful to you. It's literally harmful to you. That's just gay and lesbian, but trans people, you're pumping stuff in your body that's not supposed to be there, Literally, you're pumping toxins into your body by pumping testosterone and pumping estrogen, stuff that's not supposed to be there in your body. And of course, you're not going to live a long life. Your body was not meant to have that in there. And so many people come out like, oh, I had to get off testosterone because of health issues. And it's like, what do you think the health issues were? It was started because of the testosterone. And you had to get off of it because your doctor, maybe a good one, said, yeah, you got to stop doing this now or you're going to kill yourself. Like, you are harming your body forever by being a part of this community because you're just doing stuff you're not supposed to do. It's not supposed to go like that. Things aren't supposed to enter places and things aren't supposed to rub. It's not supposed to happen. It's not natural and it is harmful. And then what he said was 100% fact. You won't live as long. That's a statistic. This dude's out here like these Christians are evil. They're wrong. That's clearly his reaction for saying something like that. The guy's Andrew Womack. I've heard him before. I've listened to him before. He's a good man. Good man just trying to help people. And this guy's out here like, yeah, this is guys, just listen to the rest of the video. You'll see his reaction at the end, but take a look at this.
One more.
Doctrines of demons that a man can just choose to be a woman. He can choose to go into a woman's restroom because he feels like a woman today. That is nothing but an excuse for perverts. It's wrong. It is a doctrine of devils. And I know a lot of people can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm not saying anything that the Word of God isn't saying.
So the doctrine of devils thing, I don't fully understand. I do. This is what I will say. It's not from God. This transgender, homosexual, all that stuff is not from God. So if it's not from God, then what is it from? You know, it's evil. Homosexuality, transgenderism is anti-God at the very core of what God did. He created man and woman. He created us for relationship. He created us and loved us. He created man and woman the way he created them, not so that they can cut up themselves and become the opposite of what he created them to be. So you could say it's a doctrine of demons, I guess, if you wanted. I just don't know like fully what that means. But this is the reaction. The listen to this right here. And I'm sure you see some of the comments already, but we're going to take a look at some of these comments as well. It's crazy. Look at this.
Christians who push this and believe this, you need to understand something. You are not the persecuted. You are the persecutors. You are not the good guys of this story. You are the bad guys. To support this kind of harmful thinking, you are no better than demons yourselves. So I want to ask, do you think that pushing these harmful beliefs and causing people to leave the faith is really making your God happy?
All of that 20 seconds, a lot to unpack there. As Christians, we're not the persecuted, we're the persecutors. I find that so interesting when LGBTQ, all of the nonsense is being hardcore pushed in everything in society. It's being pushed in school, it's being pushed in TV, it's being pushed in news. Everything we see, LGBTQ, that community. That's all we see. And it's good and it's right and it should be accepted. Christianity has only been demonized. Everyone's like, because it's anti-gay, because it's anti-this, it's harmful. And why is it still religion? It was respect all religions. And now it's, this one is evil because it comes against this very small group of people, this LGBTQ community. Therefore, it's evil. We've been persecuted for a long time throughout history, but right now, Christianity is really the only religion that is demonized, which is insane by everyone else. We are 100% being persecuted. I find it so interesting that you're saying we're the persecutors when all we're doing is saying facts, right? Especially that first clip. All he did was lay out the statistics, the reality of the situation. If you are a homosexual, if you are living this lifestyle, the chances of you dying increase by a dramatic percent. All he was saying. Then he's saying it was doctrine of demons. It doesn't come from God. It's not natural. And I'm so sick of this. Because Christians will look at this and be like, yeah, no, we do need to be more loving. We need to find a way to say this more, like whatever. Like, no, bro, like we need to stand up for what we believe in, like what God said. You know, this homosexuality is wrong. He said marriage between a man and a woman. A wife should leave her father's house and be joined with her husband like that. All of that stuff was of God. That is natural. That is holy. That is righteous. That is what it is to be a Christian. It's not what it is to be a Christian, but that is a big part of being a Christian, being in a heterosexual relationship, being fruitful and multiplying. That was God's original command to us. So for you to say we're losing people by spitting the truth, by saying facts is actually so crazy. They want us to delude the word of God. That's what they want. They want us to be like, Yeah, let's just sprinkle in a little bit of homosexuality. Let's sprinkle in a little bit of lies here, which is so what the devil does. He adds a little bit of lies with a little bit of the truth, and just makes something entirely different so that it's spun to mean something different. It's so crazy. He's done that from the beginning of time. But this whole thing just made me so upset. We're gonna look at some of these comments. It's your boy Troy says it's their their logic took 10 years of my life. Yeah, that's insane. They fail to see that the reason those rates are so high is because of them. That is one of the crazier comments I've seen. They're saying that people are killing themselves. This is so insane. They transition, become the person they want to be. They are homosexuals. They're loving who they want to love. But because someone who doesn't believe the same way as them is saying that their lifestyle is wrong, they killed themselves. That's like you saying, because I believe the way I believe. I'm a Christian. I believe what the word of God says. But because you believe that what I believe is wrong and you say that my lifestyle is evil, therefore I'm going to kill myself. No, actually, I'm perfectly fine. I would never want to kill myself. I'm a very happy person. And the big reason for that is because I have God in my life. That's so insane, so self-centered to be, or I don't know if self-centered is the right word, but it's just so crazy that you give anyone that much power in your life, a group of anyone that much power in your life, because there's a group of people out there that believe that the way I live is wrong, evil, or whatever. I'm gonna end my life. That's so crazy. That's not the reason. The fact that this person said that and there's almost 2,000 likes to that is crazy. Let's look at some more of these comments. Shane says they create the problem and then point at it and say, look, I told you it's a problem. How on earth? How on earth have Christians created the problem? I genuinely don't understand. This video makes me so upset. It doesn't make sense. How on earth is any, like, all he was saying was the word of God for the most part. The doctrine of demons part I'm not as sure about, but he was just saying the word of God and facts and statistics, and somehow we're getting people to kill themselves and we're creating the problem. It doesn't make sense. This is absolutely dumb, guys. This has been number 2. We're gonna keep going on here, and this last thing we're gonna talk about, number 1, isn't any better. If you've seen Glamour, if you've seen any message or TikToks or whatever about the Glamour magazine and its cover, you're gonna know exactly what we're talking about. I'm literally getting jump scared just looking at this. But guys, take a look at Glamour magazine right here. Glamour magazine has made a pregnant man, is what they say, the cover of this month's issue in honor of Pride Month. Obviously, men cannot get pregnant, so that is an insane statement. But let's go ahead and take a look at what they had to say. Logan Brown, I'm a pregnant trans man, and I do exist. Because we say you can't be man and pregnant. He's saying he does exist. So to all the naysayers, he's out there. No matter what anyone says, I am literally living proof. Okay. So introducing this guy, this Logan Brown woman, but they call him a guy, and I'm just gonna read what the article says. Introducing Logan Brown, author, father, and now Glamour's June cover star. Logan Brown is a transgender man who unexpectedly became pregnant with his partner, Bailey J. Mills. So crazy. A non-binary drag performer in the UK. Let's take a look at Bailey J. Mills just to get a grasp of who this person is. Has to be a guy, right? Drag performer, and that, oh wow. Yeah, y'all can't see this. Shoot, let me pull this up. You guys need to see what is on my screen right now. This is actually crazy. Y'all, take a look at this. I'll pull this up for y'all. This is the Logan Brown's boyfriend, I guess. I don't know. Guys, take a look at what this is. So this is the profile, the Instagram profile of Bailey J. Mills, the drag person that impregnated Logan Brown. Yeah, guys, I'm looking at this, and all I'm seeing is a heterosexual couple with extra steps. Like, what in the world is this? What, like, bro, it's a trans man or a woman that became a man, and a guy who is drag, so they dress like a woman. Like you just say you're heterosexual. Just say you're straight. What in the world? Let's take a look at some of these comments. But I've questioned if I'm gay myself. Do you believe even being gay or lesbian is wrong? 100%. I mean, it's not whether I believe it or not. It's what the word of God says. It's wrong. And here's the thing. Everyone struggles with their own sin. So homosexuality, being gay or lesbian might be the sin that you're struggling with, but God can get you through it. Lying, stealing, adultery, all of that can be your sin. God will help you through it, but it is still a sin. We can't act like it's not. That's one thing we can't do. Chris says the stuff of nightmares 100% is. What in the world is that? We're going to pull up this article and continue reading. But yeah, guys, that is the man that impregnated this woman who is calling himself a man. So Glamour's Pride issue celebrates the allyship that exists between women, cisgender or not, and transgender people through our shared experiences. In particular pregnancy, my goodness, healthcare and childbirth, something that is not often talked about with regard to the transgender community, which makes sense because when you're putting yourself on all these drugs, these hormones, this testosterone, it would make sense that your body isn't able to get pregnant because you're pumping yourself with so much toxins. It might harm your bits and your parts. I'm just saying it's very, very plausible. So anyways, continuing on with this, in March of 2023, Logan, a 27-year-old writer who also works as a residential children's support worker, goodness, get away from the children, rose to prominence when he began to share his journey as a pregnant transgender man on his blog, Up the Duff Man. While his writing resonated with and beyond the LGBTQIA plus community, Logan and his partner Bailey Mills, who use the pronouns they, them, and is known for their hun humor and the drag performances on TikTok, were subject to rampart transphobia, particularly from another TikToker who repeatedly commented men can't get pregnant, which is a biological fact, across Logan's social media accounts in a display of solidarity. Logan and Bailey's followers were quick to condemn the transphobic comments, but the whole episode garnered traction online and threw the couple further into the spotlight. Glamorous Chloe Laws met Logan exactly 2 weeks before he gave birth to his daughter Nova to talk about queer love, gender dysphoria, and navigating the NHS as pregnant transgender. So we're going to just take a look at this video they have here. We're not going to look at the full 18 minutes. We're going to look at about 5 minutes of it. But it's very, very interesting, very telling. I think she exposes herself in this video. But guys, take a look at this. This whole thing, where society is taking us, is absolutely crazy. Looking at this comment, Bacon says, what do you mean it's 2023? Of course men can get pregnant. Okay, there he goes. Okay, Bacon. Let's take a look at this video.
I am a trans pregnant man and I do exist, so no matter what anyone says, I literally am living proof. Hi, I'm Logan Brown, and this is my Glamour Unfiltered. I feel like I've been brought up in a very close-knit family in general, and to be able to bring a baby up into the world in a queer relationship is like the best feeling ever.
You
and I feel like children, we'll be able to love each other, appreciate each other, and I feel like my daughter will be able to grow up knowing that she'll always be loved and accepted for whoever she is, and I think that's a really important thing.
Can whoever she is be something outside of their gender? It's like, I'll love and accept you for whoever you are, not whoever you want to be, as in like, maybe I want to be a doctor, or maybe I want to be a social media influencer, which I don't recommend for everyone, or maybe I want to be this, or maybe I want to be that. No, it has to be your gender identity. That's the thing that irritates me so much. It's like, yes, you should encourage your child to try things and figure out who they want to be in life, but that doesn't mean they have to try out genders and pronouns and figure out that, because that stuff is nonsense. It doesn't matter. What really matters is how you're going to be a productive member of society. It's so twisted and irritating, but let's continue watching this video.
Being younger, I always had these weird feelings that I never fully understood until I got older. And that's probably to do with gender dysphoria, especially with my chest. And like when I was younger, I'd definitely been in situations where I'd be binding down my chest, putting certain clothes on that I thought boys wore, and then immediately just like take it off in embarrassment. When I was about 13, 14, I actually came out as lesbian, and I feel like that was more to do with how I dressed. And I dressed in like I was a bit of like a tomboy, and everyone used to say, oh, you're definitely a lesbian. Like adults would literally say to me, why are you wearing that? You're a lesbian. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And
maybe, I don't know, here's a thought. You just liked wearing comfy clothes, and guys' clothes just happen to be comfier, and the adults that told you you're lesbian just sparked something in your brain, or didn't spark something in your brain, but made you question and think something that's the opposite of maybe what you are. I don't know. I feel like you were in an environment where you could have been groomed into thinking that. just listening to your own story. Yeah, no, wearing clothes of a guy does not make you a guy. Just pointing that out. And gender dysphoria is a real problem out there. It's not a stepping stone to becoming transgender. It is a psychological problem that you need help. Like it's not a good thing. It's not something you should be looking forward to. Like, oh, my gender dysphoria kicked in. Now it can be like, no, it's literally so stupid. Um, it's so irritating that they talk about it like in a positive light. Like, oh yeah, it was just my gender dysphoria. Like now I know that I am something that I'm not. It's like, no, gender dysphoria is a problem. You need to get it worked out and understand that you are what you are what you were born as. As simple as that. Insanity. Let's keep it going.
And the thing is that gender and sexuality are two completely different things that people don't even realize. So yeah, so I came out as lesbian, had a few girlfriends for a few years, long-term relationships, and then after I finally just focused on myself, I realized that there was more to this. Like there was more to me, and like my identity of me being trans was something that I wanted to explore. And I realized that all them years ago, all them things that I was told of, like, well, you can't like, it's so weird. It was like, you can't like boys because you dress like that, so you must be a lesbian. I realized that gender and sexuality are two completely different things, and that I could just love anyone. And now, like, I pretty much identify as queer. And I realized that I could just love and be with anyone. I met Bailey nearly 2 years ago, so we've not even been together that long, to be honest. That's why it's like a big shocker that we're even having a baby together. I came across some of the videos and I thought, who is that? Like, they are crazy.
Literally crazy.
And I just almost felt like I could relate to them as well, of like being the misfit all the time. Like, they resemble that in all the videos. And then I seen like a vulnerable video of them, and I thought, they're a bit of me. I thought they were very cute. And I literally just reached out to them. I was like, I think you're really, really cute. And we went on a date, and it was not your usual date. It was just chaos. And then like shortly after time, we was just, yeah, I'm obsessed with them. So I found out I was pregnant because I took a pregnancy test early hours in the morning whilst Bailey was asleep. And I just had this really weird feeling that something wasn't right. And obviously I've been off testosterone for a while due to some health issues.
You were off testosterone for a little bit because of some health issues. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? I'm just saying, bro, like it shouldn't be that hard. This person was on testosterone for however long. And they had to get off of it for medical issues. But why were there medical issues? Maybe, I don't know, because you were pumping testosterone into your body at such a unhealthy rate. I mean, as a woman, you shouldn't just be pumping, or anyone shouldn't just be pumping any drug into yourself that's not in there, not that much of it in there naturally. It's crazy. We can't just look at the possibility that maybe it's the being transgender part that is the problem. Maybe that's why you were unhealthy. I know it's not the main part of what they're talking about, but it is significant. You're transgender and you were on that, and you were unhealthy because of it. That's the reality of the situation. But Glamour wanted to talk about how a man can get pregnant, even though it is a biological woman who got pregnant and is acting like a man. That's the reality of the situation. But they just quickly glossed over the fact that they were on testosterone and they were in pain and suffering, and then they had to get off of it because of medical issues. I'm just like, we got to talk about reality. Like, this is not normal. It's not natural. And people are in pain and harming themselves. And hopefully this baby turns out fine, even though they were pumping this terrible stuff into their body for so long. Like, oh, this is so aggravating. We had to hear that because it just exposes the insanity of this subsect of people.
So just kind of had this really weird feeling, and I took the pregnancy test, and it was just like this. It was like my whole world just stopped. And yeah, it was literally when I saw them two lines, I was just like, what the heck? That everything just, all my manlyhood that I've tried to work hard for so long, just completely felt like it was erased. Yeah, that's how I found out. So at first I was like lingering around the house whilst Bales was still asleep. And I was like, oh, do I wake them up or do I not? It was really hard because how do you tell your partner, like, oh, I'm pregnant, but oh, I'm also your boyfriend as well. So I was like lingering around them for ages, and then I just like, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just wake them up. So I tapped them, and it was like, what's up? I was like, I couldn't get the words out of my mouth to say it because it's just something that you just don't say as a man. And I was like, I'm
No. It's not something you don't say as a man. It's something you literally cannot say as a man because a man cannot get pregnant. And I'm so over this tiptoeing nonsense. Like, no, if you are born a woman, you're a woman. Like, why are we talking about this? You can't explain to me what a man is without using the word man in your argument. It's as simple as that. And it's not a feeling. Like, it's so irritating. Like, you can't just mimic. I can't get on all fours, start barking, and say I am a dog because I've seen a dog and I feel like I want to be that dog and I feel like I want to own her because dogs have all their stuff paid for. And no, you're not a dog, bro. Just because you get on fours and feel like you're a dog, you can only mimic what you see. And just because you can pump testosterone in your body and make yourself look more and more like a man doesn't make you that. It's so crazy. Like, you have to go through all this effort, spend all this money to become something that you're not, and suffer in the process. Why are people doing this? I don't get it. Why are people doing this? It's so dumb. And honestly, we could probably cut it right here. I mean, there's so much more in this video. It gets crazy. And y'all see it, it's on Glamour Magazine. If you go there, you'll find it right away if you want to watch the entire 18-minute video. But guys, this has been the 5 levels of dumb. We are going to be going live Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern is the plan. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. Love you guys. And this video will be clipped out and posted throughout the week. If there's certain parts of the video you wanted to see again, certain parts of the video you wanted to share to friends, do that. It will be clipped out throughout the week. So be on the lookout for that. Turn on that notification bell. Like the video. Like it. Push this out to more people. Share the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys Thursday. Peace.